This deck won the Hoaglandia Open last weekend. The Alchemy event, the winner gets to go play in the Streets of New Capenna Set Championship. Congrats to them. Let's play some Magic. For people that aren't familiar, this is an enchantment deck based around a bunch of new cards. We've got the Jukai Naturalist here that makes your enchantment spells cost 1 less, and more importantly, it's an enchantment itself. And then we've got the Generous Visitor here, which says whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you get to put a 1/1 counter on target thing. Now, the kind of engine in this deck is we've got Runeforge Champion here, which says you can pay 1 mana rather than the cost for runes you cast, and this combos with the Jukai Naturalist because your runes cost 1 and then they become free. So you can kind of chain through playing all of these out that you have while doing things like triggering Generous Visitor. We also have Showdown of the Skalds here, which is not only a powerful piece of card advantage, but chapters 2 and 3, when you're doing things like chaining through runes for free, lets you distribute a bunch of 1/1 counters to make things very powerful. Yeah, this deck's actually pretty friendly on wild cards here too, right? We got a couple of mythics, and obviously mana bases are mana bases, but the bulk of this deck is commons and uncommons, which is sweet. So let's go ahead and pop on into some Alchemy matches with this and see how it goes. Thank you, Annie. Christy got takeout from the new Chinese food place up the street. So I've got a few cream cheese rangoons and then some egg fried rice. It is a 11:45 here in Central Cornlandia. Agenda, thanks for the sub gift. That's very generous. Appreciate the support. I definitely prefer the average gameplay in Alchemy to the average gameplay in Historic. Historic is a very combo and control centric format. And in a change of pace comparison, Alchemy is currently a very aggressive mid-range format. And I tend to prefer aggro and mid-range to combo and control, personally. Ooh, that's a nice draw. So, someone said, don't lie, you have a soft spot for the People's Cannon. You should note, I didn't say I prefer playing with aggro and mid-range decks. what I said was I prefer playing against them. You don't play or like a Magic format, generally speaking, for just the decks you like playing. You typically play a Magic format for the types of decks you end up playing against. I actually enjoy playing combo and control somewhat consistently. It's just exhausting to have almost every match you play be against those two archetypes. I'll load this up and scratch on in here. So that my enjoyment of a particular format typically isn't dictated by what I can be doing in it. It's what my average opponent is doing in it, what those play patterns look like. Yeah, the reaction to Modern Horizons has been really interesting to me as an outsider looking in who doesn't have any skin in the game for Modern as a format anymore. There are a ton of people who are like, I despise Modern Horizons. It made my beloved decks that I used to always love playing really bad. And then on the flip side, there's a bunch of people who are like, well, the play patterns of the current format, even though the format has become more narrow, are good, so I don't really mind that other decks that used to be playable are now unplayable. So it really depends on like what you're looking to get out of a format. I fully understand both sides of that, both wishing that the format could previously have been what it was, but also not really caring because you like what the current format is. Yeah, Modern is no longer a non-rotating format. With the advent of Masters sets, it is entirely fair to say that Modern is a format that rotates at the speed of them printing new sets like those. That's just how it works. I don't know, enjoying specific play patterns is a very subjective measurement, so I'll never really fault people for being like, hey, I just don't like how this is going. That's not an unreasonable position to be taking. I played a lot of Modern when Splinter Twin was legal. I would say it is a mischaracterization to classify Modern as having rotated when Splinter Twin was banned. I disagree with that take. Well, that's probably lethal, right? This was a really impressive turn, huh? It's pretty sweet. So Circle of Confinement and Valorous Stance and Borrowed Time seem good here. Their draw's a little awkward this game, but I think it's pretty important that I be able to answer a card like Righteous Valkyrie should it show up. Trim these Hallowed Hauntings. I don't really know how much we're supposed to board with this. Like, this might be boarding in too many cards, honestly. We're kind of an engine deck, so trimming too much of our core components can come at a real risk. Just gonna like trim around the edges for these last few. Need one more cut here. I would be shocked if we ever got Tron lands on Arena. 7 mana card's a card we could reasonably see printed here without Tron lands. That card's fine. Adi, thanks for re-upping the Prime. I appreciate the third of a year. Welcome back. It's 18 months, no spoon. It's playable in Standard. It's much worse in Standard because your mana is worse. Don't undervalue what's it called? Having good mana in your 3-color aggro deck. That being said, Standard's also more controlling, so I don't know necessarily how this lines up into controlling. I think this deck's very good aggressive decks. As part of its appeal. Not sure why they attacked here, but thanks, I guess. Decent turn. Maybe slightly above average. Showdown of the Skalds doing its best Hydroid Krasis impersonation here. Destroying endless copies of itself. Okay, we're done here. Runes are now free. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runes. So we're gonna add like 30 plus power to the board here. that was very silly. Easy to see why this deck won a tournament. Really powerful racing draws. It's Friday, Tang. Treat yourself. My tiebreaker when I'm torn on if I want to get takeout or not, or cook something, is the stuff that you would be cooking going to expire and no longer be good if you're not going to make it today? Because if it's going to result in throwing food out, you should cook your food and eat it. But if your stuff's still going to be good tomorrow and you just cook it tomorrow, it's Friday. Get yourself a treat and be a good little person and cook for yourself tomorrow. Tips for beginner vegetarian. Chickpeas are great. Can cook infinite different veggie bowl stuff with chickpeas. Chili is also good. My wife and I do vegetarian chili a lot. Commune with the spirits is so good. Well, like 2.5 spells, right? They saw the back half of this they can use. Cool. At least we're not drawing those next turn, I suppose. Sure. You can always find the deck list for the deck that we're playing on your screen via the untapped widget. You can also type !deck into chat to find a direct link to the deck list. If you're watching this on YouTube in the future, if you expand that video description, there's both a link to the untapped deck as well as the deck in text form for easy importing into your own Magic arena. Is there anything more peak Twitch chat than me taking a second to explain all the ways you could find the deck list yourself and then someone immediately piping up in chat asking where they can find the deck list? Or asking about a card that we're playing? Man, that's brutal. Did not realize that was a card we were playing around. That's super unfortunate. Christy has spent an incredible amount of time and energy researching baby stuff, and she is always happy to share. Yeah, Brittle Blast is a good shout. Probably should have pushed to 5 because of that, or 6 because of that alone. I like that call out. We probably win this game very easily if I had sequenced around that appropriately. I'm gonna go ahead and concede now. We definitely win this game if I'd have put one of those to 6. Rough beat. Hallowed Haunting and Katilda against control, I think. We'll trim Touch the Spirit Realm and a couple of lifelink runes. Extra Rune of Speed sounds lovely. 9 runes is probably fine. Yeah, I feel you, Seth. You think they're a lot now at 3 weeks? I guess it depends on how much they're sleeping. There's like usually this small window where they're like a couple of months old and they like start sleeping through the night a little bit. And the difficulty goes down, and then eventually they start rolling over and crawling and the difficulty spikes through the roof. And then once they can walk, all bets are off. I'm just gonna cantrip one of these. Here's a good chance our first threat just gets knocked out here, so just gonna go ahead and spend my mana this turn getting a new card. I have often described small children as tiny suicide machines, and your job as a parent slash caregiver is to ensure that they fail in their task to end their own lives. It's honestly impressive that we've survived as a species. What's going on, Dr. Brouhaha? Your Friday's off to a good start. We have Spell Pierce. Pretty bad for me. That's how I feel as a teacher. Yeah, this resolving is huge. I'm gonna lead on Naturalist here, even though we drew another Hallowed Haunting, because if I play this other Hallowed Haunting and it just gets countered, I'd be in a pretty bad spot. Wanna build some spirits up first here. It wasn't the green source I was hoping to draw, but it's definitely better than bricking. To crunch in here. Okay, so the fact that they are on Smoldering Egg, I think means I want some copies of Valorous Stance in my deck. This is probably kind of mediocre into their deal ones. Maybe we cut these and like put a rune back in and put in one more piece removal, like extra touch the or put the touch the spirit realms back in. It's also be a protection spell in a pinch. Let's do that. I guess we're on the draw here, right? So this is just like better than a pathway. You got the visitors against red control. Been playing this since the one that opened. It's been fun. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I've already played 2 Jawari disruptions, and like I'm gonna have to get through them at some point anyways. So I think that might actually be a spell this game. Just gonna go ahead and just jam into here. It really just depends, Evermole. Like, do you think you're gonna have a spot on your curve later where you can fit this land in and still scry for it? Or is it gonna put you off of your tempo and your sequencing to like have a tapped land later in your curve? Stuff like that is worth consideration. So we just take this moment to resolve this, right? Nah, the new Kiki Saga is doesn't really seem like a playable card, excellent. It's pretty slow and clunky. I'll do it again, I swear. Grab an extra haste rune, although maybe I shouldn't do the haste rune because I actually only have 1 red. There's a good chance this gets KO'd here, huh? Desperate times call for desperate measures, eh? The game has ended. They're actually close to literally dead this turn, right? With the Rune of Speeds? Not bad. Hallowed Haunting is so good in the control matchups. It's like casual crunchy for infinite. Oops, we're a number again. We made some spirits and attacked for a lot. Oh, ladder, we will climb you. Do 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 dee hee hee hee. Beow, dee, 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 dee. Obviously not in the market for another land here. Well, this is Alchemy, not Historic, or to me, so 9 lives is not legal here. But I also think the 9 lives variation in Historic is pretty mediocre, so... It could be right to just, like, cantrip a rune here, like we did in the other game. Alright, so there's zombies, so the lifelink's probably good here. Yeah, I think part of the reason why this deck was successful at the open is there were a number of aggressive decks, and this deck's very reasonable into aggressive decks. All of the lifelink is pretty decent. Go ahead and haste this up and get in there. Just pick up. Unfortunately, you cannot automate a Prime subscription. Daddy Bezos wants to make sure that if you're using a Prime sub, it's someone you're actually actively watching. You know, they don't want, like, people having their friends and family that never actually watch Twitch setting up a bunch of Prime subs and then forgetting them and walking away. Speaking of Prime subs, thanks for the Prime. And Liz, Smorgaz. This is my full-time gig and I wouldn't be able to be here without folks like you, so thanks for keeping me around. Try and make 2 equally scary threats here and crunch in. Maybe. Maybe. Oh, great spirits. Tell me your secrets. They could have the flash zombie. That's a good shout. Honestly, I think even if they have the flash zombie here, I'm just gonna go ahead and crunch with both of these because it's a good amount of lifelink. And we have Showdown of the Skalds to gas back up with now at this point. Eight. No Infernal Grasp 2. The reason I put lifelink on the card that already had lifelink, they both already had lifelink. I just wanted to cast my spell to draw a card and trigger Generous Visitor. Alright, so on the draw, I think I want to bring in a bunch of removal spells here. I think the Hallowed Hauntings probably come out in the aggressive matchups. And we can go down at least one rune. Haste is less important in the aggressive matchup. The Yasharn looks great. Do we think so? This doesn't stop exploit. That's a triggered ability. It's not an activated ability. Hey, SC Yuri, thanks for re-upping the Prime. Welcome back. Appreciate it. I should probably be better about reminding people if they have a Prime sub to use it. Probably result in more of those. Used to be better about that. I've gotten lazy in my old age. I've been trimming this card a lot. I don't know if that's right. Let's try this. No, we just talked about that. Pix. There's not. Yeah, just like a calendar reminder. Amazon doesn't want people like sitting and forgetting it on channels they don't actually watch. Thanks, the XOR. Appreciate the 5 months. And Quirky Panda, thanks for the brand new Prime. Welcome back. This is an untapped land potentially next turn, so I'll definitely lead on this. Want to be able to play a 2-drop. Part of me wants to name Red to just rip this Jadar apart. We're supposed to name White so I can do this eventually. Well, Nevermall, 1, there isn't a lot of control in Alchemy, but 2, look again, there is a 1 mana protection spell on our sideboard. I did not, Cody. Sometimes, I mean, to be fair, if you had to say, Jeff, when do you want your opponent to have their absolute nuts best draw? I would answer on the game where I'm stumbling on lands anyways, so Let's win game 3 on the play here, huh? What's going on, Dylan? Thanks for the 2/3 of a year. Welcome back. This hand's fine. We get to scry here, digging for a red source. Is there a monetary difference between a tier 1 and a prize 1? There is not. The Twitch streamer gets identical amount of support. So if you've got Jeff Bezos money, spend that first. Honestly, I think you can make a strong argument that spending Jeff Bezos money is better than spending your own. Lord knows he has enough of it. Okay, we hit the red source. It's a big deal. Gain a little bit of life back here. Whoa, they don't have any plays this turn? That's huge. You can toggle the untapped extension on or off, or move it around, I believe. It's unfortunate. Normally, I'd ask who hurt them that they're playing a null, but the obvious answer is us, our deck. Our deck hurt them at some point in the not too distant past. Oh, probably dead to this sequence. Need a high impact card here. I think this constitutes high impact, huh? It's not high impact if we don't draw spells. Ooh, that's a good shout. A null being a 1-mana counter target meat hook is probably very good in a lot of spots, huh? Holy crap, that is busted. Ow! Oh, man. Brutal. I've got huge tracts of land, chat. Just huge tracts. Dead to removal. Do 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 do. That will also do, pig. That will also do. What's up?
You didn't like your one?
Yeah, it was fine. Just enough. mean, good luck beating triple champion without sweepers. To be fair, chat, the triple champion didn't really, like, I know the triple champion was like the creatures they had after the fact, but if they hadn't been interactive, if they had just been a purely linear aggressive deck, we would have easily beaten them there. Like, the reason why their draw was strong was because they had the Annul and the Infernal Grasp, right? And, like, obviously, Champion of the Parish is, like, one of their best cards they could start on. They had very good draws in both games 2 and 3, but the interaction specifically is the reason why they got ahead in that third game. If our Showdown goes off and they don't remove our first creature, right? Like, and they just play other creatures out, like, our board would have been significantly better than theirs. They had to interact to survive. Yeah, I think Annul seems like a sweet card to include in that archetype. I don't think that's one that I would have thought of myself. And seeing how they were leveraging against us, and then it also being a consideration against Meat Hook, which I think is one of the best cards you can play against zombies. Seems like it'll go a long way. Is this silver? Or is this platinum and it's weird faded? Woof. Yeah, as much as I hate to admit it, the addition of Alchemy to Magic Arena has definitely made it apparent that Wizards of the Coast cautiousness with adding more cues to this application was probably warranted. A lot of players are at work right now. This will maybe shock you to learn, Nevermall, but there are a significant amount of human beings in the world that do not live in the United States of America or North or South America. And in some of those other places and other parts of the world, it is not currently the middle of the afternoon. It is well into the evening. This is actually something I had posted some stats about. Where's the tweet with the metrics? So I thought this was a really interesting stat. So Untapped is the best source of data that we have. And over a 2-week time window, there were 360,000 best of 1 standard games played. And there were only 22,000 best of 3 games played. In comparison, in that same time period, Alchemy had 100k best of 1 and only 9k best of 3. But this is the most interesting part to me. Historic has 50% best of 3, 55% best of 3 compared to best of 1, which means ultimately there's more total games played in best of 3 for Historic than there are best of 1. In fact, if you look at all of these numbers as pure ratios, this here is the worst ratio of best of 1 to best of 3. So, like, people are looking at 9K Alchemy and saying, oh, Alchemy is low. Best of 3 Alchemy as a proportion of the player base is actually more popular than best of 3 Standard. If best of 3 Standard and best of 3 Alchemy were proportional, this best of 3 Standard would be what? Like, 33,000 or so? 30,000? Yeah, it's 10 to 1 versus 18 to 1. So there is also not a huge number. Looking at just the raw numbers, there's also less than 1,000 matches of best of 3 Alchemy played daily over that 2-week match window. But again, like, it's a new format and change is scary for people, so that doesn't surprise me. But the biggest thing that was most interesting about that data is I'm one of the few people who is a dedicated best of 3 Magic Arena content creator. Like, all of the biggest creators are best of 1 for a reason because of those metrics. And there's Historic is consistently my most popular format that I play in terms of viewer metrics. And the fact that it's so much more popular as a best of 3 more format, I think explains that a lot. Yes, I also think, as someone who's played a lot of Magic over the years, I'm actually shocked that the ratio of best of 1 to best of 3 Historic isn't even better than it is, because best of 1 Historic, chat, good golly, is that a rancid format in my opinion. There's so many things in Historic that are just obnoxiously powerful, or you're just like, man, I really need a sideboard card to be competitive against this. Well, we don't have comparable metrics on Pioneer, Bora, because Pioneer doesn't exist on Magic Arena, and those stats are derived purely from Magic Arena. Historic best of 1 probably maximizes the salt to time ratio. That's true. Accurate. Chat. I'm a bully, chat. We're big bullies, chat. Oh, look, we drew lethal. I was about to say we're one short. We are no longer one short. No, I don't believe you can lose rank pips until you get to gold, right? So a crumb of experience, I suppose, is better than nothing. But as someone who spent an unhealthy amount of time playing Raid Shadow Legends, one thing that gacha game did really well was every time they had a server hiccup, they gave the players something pretty tangible as a thank you. Like, it would literally cost them nothing to just give all of the players 1 to 5 booster packs because there was downtime. Give them something real. 1,000 experience is effectively nothing. A core kind of like fundamental shift that needs to happen with the people that make decisions at Wizards of the Coast, in my opinion, is they need to really realize the fact that by giving their players a little bit of something for free, they build goodwill, and that goodwill encourages them to want to invest into the platform and spend money. They're allergic to the idea of giving their players anything for free because they seem to think if you give them something for free, that's something they would have bought, and that's generally not the case. No joke, Tumos. I think 75% of the money I spent on Raid Shadow Legends was acquiring books. Lifelink here. Does this feel like deal 4 to target attacking creature to anybody else? I'm going kind of all in on this one because it feels like it might be a deal 4 to target attacking creature angle. Yeah, but the destroy target attacking creature is way less commonly played. I don't think I'm supposed to play around that in the dark. Whereas, like, this could realistically be a 3 to 4 of in a white aggressive deck. The Seat of the Empire, chat. Yeah, Wizards, one of the really good things to come out of Fire Design is Wizards has done an excellent job with, hopefully this isn't a Wandering Emperor. Wizards has done an excellent job with land designs.
I'm home. This is what you get for
Really want to draw an enchantment next turn. An enchantment that draws a card would be ideal. A Rune or a Showdown of the Skalds. Be some of our best draws.
I have got new moves to teach you.
Will I be playing in the Open tomorrow? No, I don't even know what format it is. I have other commitments tomorrow morning that prevent me from playing in things. It's limited. No, yeah, definitely not doing that. My weekend will certainly involve a lot of Pokemon Unite, and then my boys have the Pinewood Derby tomorrow for their Cub Scout pack. Gotta go watch the cars race, chat. Some strategic speed holes. So one of the things they do that's clever is you actually put one of the wheel holes up slightly higher on the car in the front, so that way only 3 of the 4 wheels touch the track, so you hit less friction.
Of battle.
All right, you have that. Are you still dead? Pretty close to still dead, right? They jump here, die. Nice, Kyle. Yeah, Pokemon Unite is definitely the reason that my family owns 3 Switches. We had 2 before Pokemon Unite, and that was plenty, but with Christy and I both playing, we definitely own 3 now. Yeah, last year we had to do the races pseudo remote tumos, so Christy and I helped them do production for a Twitch stream of the Pinewood Derby, which was fun. We'll be back in person this year at the school on Saturday. Oh, what are we doing? They were like kind of aggressive. Not really. They like had this and then like Wandering Emperor. I might just click submit here, honestly, Chip. When in doubt with a deck like this that has a powerful linear game plan, I think you just click submit. Less is more. Just don't dilute your game plan. For the cars, usually we just do simple aerodynamic cuts for the kids, and then we let them paint them to what they want to paint them as. So, like, Jacob's car is a Regigigas themed paint job, and Declan's has a Super Smash Brothers Smash Ball on the top of it. So this is definitely on white here. For people who maybe aren't familiar, the Pinewood Derby is, maybe you've seen it. They're just like little wooden cars that are about this big, and you race them down a track. And the kids can get trophies and stuff for their cars being quick. Commune sounds great. I'd love to find a Showdown of the Skalds. It's a physics lesson disguised as fun. Yep. So, all levels of BSA, Kyle, are co-ed now. So our pack actually has boys and girls in it. So if I don't play this on, I want to green spell this turn, but I need a red mana. I could just put the lifelink on my lifelink. Yeah, I think I'm just supposed to do this. It's close, though. Yeah, I could have done this first, but, I kind of want to put this on a non-lifelink unit. Oh no! Brutal. And the problem here is, one of our best draws in Showdown just isn't castable because of the way I was forced to sequence my lands. This is pretty unfortunate. Alright, we'll get him game 3 on the play, huh? Man, I was just thoroughly awkward enough there. So... I think I'm happy with my game 1 plan, honestly. Just gonna click submit. So this is definitely going on white. I'm gonna hold on to this for a second. This is going on green if we don't draw a different land. If we draw the same land, we will also put it on green. It's really good fun, Ziv. I like the design a lot. Gonna be all she wrote. Maybe we hit a land this turn, we have a chance. We were on the play this game, weren't we? Brutal. I mean, this card's fine. Like this match was decided by us stumbling more so than anything they did in particular, right? Like, if we had actually been able to cast our spells this game, we'd have had more than a reasonable shot. Take this and pass back. And then maybe they have nothing and we get to draw a lifelink rune next turn. Alright. Hey, that's enough magic for today. This deck's fine, but I'm tired of missing land drops and shit. It was a thoroughly magic experience. I don't know how to have anything particular to change about this. This deck is card for card what won the Hoaglandia Open. It seems very reasonable. It's got a good linear game plan. The games that we got to play Magic felt really good. You know, I know we missed land drops there, but like our deck has 23 lands plus 4 Commune with the Spirit, so like from a consistency standpoint, this deck's very consistent. It's just sometimes Magic's gonna be Magic and you gotta roll with it.